What's up, everybody? Welcome to Malt Muser Whiskey Reviews. I am Eric. On the bar in front of me, I have three whiskeys. Over the course of the year, I was able to taste dozens and dozens and dozens of whiskeys. And the three that I have in front of me that I'm going to share with you today are really the ones that surprised me this year. They surprised me either that they were better than I expected, in the sense that, quite frankly, I didn't have high expectations for and kind of bought with my fingers crossed, hoping for the best, or they're from a distillery that I just tried for the first time and I'm really impressed by. So I want to give a shout out to Daniel H., Patreon supporter, for bringing me this idea. And without further ado, here we go. The three whiskeys that surprised me here in 2022. The first one on the list is from Highland Park Single Malt Scotch Whiskey in the Orkney Islands. Highland Park Cask Strength Batch number 3. This is, as I mentioned, the third release in the line. It is bottled at a hefty 64.1% ABV. It is non-chill filtered. It is natural color. All good things. Highland Park's cask strength range, I was quite excited about when it came out a few years back. And really, with both batch 1 and 2, I was not that impressed. It was either too hot, a little bit too simple, it tasted too young, bit too tannic. It just didn't quite hit all the marks I was really hoping for in a cask strength whiskey from Highland Park. With no age statement, you assume you're getting some younger whiskey, but I think here with batch 3, they have put out their best release to date, and I'm really enjoying this one. From what I can tell you, they increased a little bit of the peated malt that they use in this. It is predominantly first fill sherry with small amounts of refill bourbon and I think some seasoned European oak. The flavor profile on this is just absolutely huge, but it works. Balancing that nice Highland Park honeyed sweetness, kind of sherry bourbon cask mix working really well on this one as well. You also have that nice sweeter heather peat, giving it just a little bit of funk and backbone, but not really taking away from the malt at all. This one, I think what impressed me most is not just the creamy mouthfeel that you have, but honestly, just the complexity as it develops. You're picking up all sorts of different kind of spice notes, and everything seems to be working. Even at this 64.1%, I didn't find this to be too hot. And with a couple drops of water, it really opened up into a beautifully long finish, really showcasing how good this whiskey was. This has really changed my mind about the cask strength range, and I'll probably be buying number 4 simply because this one was so good. So the first one here, again, you get a bottle of this readily available here in the US on that $90 to $100 range, give or take. I think this one's worth it. Highland Park cask strength batch number 3 is the first in my top 3 whiskeys that surprised me here in 2022. Coming up next, this is one that I tasted earlier in the year and have really been slowly sipping and enjoying more and more. And it's from a distillery that I frankly never had anything from before. It is the Ardnamurchan. This is the AD 0721 number 4. Now, Ardnamurchan, this is take a look at the bottle here. This one is bottled at 46.8% ABV. It is unchill filtered and natural color. They write it right here on the label, which is great. Age on this might only be in that 5 to 6 range, but I will tell you, this whiskey has got me quite excited about the good things that I can expect coming from Ardnamurchan over the next couple of years. First of all, their presentation alone is a very minimalistic, quality integrity whiskey. They also are really big on using renewable and green energy. They talk a lot about here in the way that they produce their whiskey. So kudos to them for that. But really, what shines the most here in this 65% bourbon, 35% sherry cask matured whiskey is honestly the flavor and character of it. For a younger whiskey, I think that this really does showcase the balance between cask influence and the malt itself really well. You pick up a lot of this kind of creamier, heavier bourbon cask notes, dried fruit notes coming in the background. As it develops, you get a little bit of a peat, very typical of where this is from in the Western Highlands. Not a very heavily peated whiskey, but it does give it a little bit of that earthiness and a touch of smoke into a medium long finish. And I think that this really shows the character and what you could do with a young whiskey, even at a lower bottling strength. I'm really excited to see what comes up and get more bottles of these going into 2023. So Kudos to the Ardnamurchan Distillery, something you should have on your radar, and especially if you're looking for a gift for that whiskey drinker in your life. This might be something that's a little off the beaten path that they will surely enjoy. Priced around that $65 to $70 mark for this one in specific. I think really you're pretty much on safe ground grabbing any of these releases from Ardnamurchan. This one in particular, about 5,000 bottles here in the US. Good value, enjoying the whiskey, would definitely pick it up again, and just exciting stuff to see coming from a newer distillery releasing bottles here in 2022. So keep your eyes peeled for the Ardnamurchan AD 0721 number 4. Which brings me to the third whiskey. And I couldn't do this list without bringing up this one because, first of all, it's a bourbon. And it's a bourbon that is both a style and a series that I've really not been impressed with at all. And that is the Larceny Barrel Proof Batch C922. So Larceny, the range of, I think, starting in 2020, began following the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof approach, where they've been putting out, Heaven Hill's been putting out cast strength releases of the Larceny, the way that they do with the Elijah Craigs. And I can tell you just from folks that I read and people I talk to, nobody's been really as excited about this, even a couple of years since its inception, than they are about the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. For the most part, Larceny, first of all, being a whiskey from Heaven Hill with a significant amount more wheat added. This whiskey is just, quite frankly, not hit the marks. Bottled in that 6 to 8 year range. I can't say that of the 2 or 3 that I've had, I've really found them to be impressive at all. They've either been really hot or over oaky. Yes, you expect a little bit of heat with a cast strength whiskey, but I just found them kind of messy and disorganized. That is not the case at all with C922. And it is not surprising that in some corners, people are saying that this is really the coming out party for the Larceny Barrel Proof range. I'm super, super impressed with this. It finds a way to maintain balance even at a 63.3% ABV. You get everything you would expect, some kind of sweet biscuity notes, that caramel, chocolatey mix that you expect from a nice bourbon cask. It's got good spices, kind of blend with a lighter oak note, which I'm really, really impressed by. There's also this kind of honeyed pancake note, which some could say borders on maple syrup. It's a little bit lighter than that I really just found fantastic all the way through. This is a rich, decadent whiskey, and at a price around $60 USD. I mean, I think it's an absolute steal. These are not always the easiest things to get, but right now, here in the holiday season, you're going to probably have your best chance of finding one of these on the shelf. And if you do, I think it's definitely worth the price and would also make a great gift for the bourbon drinker in your life. So really impressed with this. And I guess I will be looking for another one in the next batch in 2023. Larceny Barrel Proof Batch C922 is the third whiskey on my list of whiskeys that surprised me here in 2022. Okay, y'all, that's a wrap. Leave a comment below. Let me know. Did you try any of these whiskeys this year? What did you think about them? Were there any others that you think would have made your list? Would love to hear about them. With that, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Smash that like if you enjoyed this video. I am going to sip the rest of the Highland Park Cat Strength 3 that I got in the glass here, and I will catch you next time here on Malt Mazer Whiskey Reviews. Cheers.